So I live on this really steep hill, and there's a natural spring that runs in the middle, and during the winter months, it inevitably freezes. And so it's always something that's kind of challenging to navigate around. It was a particular morning that I took my son to school, and it was early spring, and I hadn't really checked the weather when I left. I didn't realize that the temperatures had dropped to freezing, and so this spring had frozen, but I didn't know it. And so it kind of caught me off guard. And so I hit the patch of ice, and my SUV turned sideways and started sliding down the hill sideways. And so I immediately start to panic, because how many of you know when you get blindsided by something, you're not prepared and you panic. And so out of fear, I really start praying, and I'm like, God, you have to help me. You have to help me. You have to help me. You have to get me out. You have to get me out of this. And so I'm doing everything that I can in the moment to stop the car, and it kind of lands sideways in this ditch line that runs parallel to the road. And so I get the car stopped, and again, I'm still amped up. I'm still scared. My heart rate's, pounding, and I accidentally hit reverse instead of drive, and I lay on the gas, and it just sends me almost a 360 and then back down the hill. And now I'm full on panicking. I get the car stopped, and now I'm in the ditch, and I'm like, God, you got to get me out of this. You got to get me out of this. You got to get me out of this. And the more that I prayed for God, get me out of this, God, meet this need, the worse the situation seemed to be getting. And so at one point, I just yelled out, Daddy, I need you. And the minute that my prayer changed to Daddy, I need you, the spirit of peace was ushered into the cabin of that car, and I could hear him. All the fear went away, my heart rate was restored, and I could hear him, and my vision changed. And he brought my attention to the settings on my car. I didn't have my car in the right setting, my four-wheel drive setting, to get myself out of the situation. So when peace was restored, I could see the provision that he had before me. So I put the car in the right setting and went up the hill and on my way. But on my way home, he kept ministering to me, like the scripture in Elisha, where Elisha prayed for his prophet who was freaking out when he went outside and saw the army encamped around them, who was there to really kill them, and was like, what do we do, Master? What do we do? And he was like, listen, you don't see what I see. There is more for us than is against us. And he prayed to God, God, give him vision to see. And when he prayed that, peace was restored to the servant, and he could see the provision that God had always had there before him. Because how many do you know that you can't always see your provision through your panic? You have to see it through peace. So it taught me a lesson that whenever you get in a situation that, it just seems like you're praying into something and God's just not listening, not responding maybe, and it seems like it's getting worse and not getting better. Just learn from my lesson and maybe change your prayer and stop asking for him to meet the need and ask for him to restore peace. Because I can't hear my Father in chaos. I hear him in peace.